to fight a little bit more.
Okay.
And I think I've shared story within Lottery International magazine, which is now being published, which is called Lottery Down Under magazine. It is dear to me. This is what I do. I've done for the last 3.5 years in Australia. But also, I think Africa has the highest suicide rates.
Wow.
Speaking, because if you look at suicide, every 40 seconds, we lose one person to suicide. And statistics are shown, according to the World Health Organization, that every 20 people attempt more within those 40 seconds.
Wow.
So you're looking at it that we are losing over 800,000 people.
That's a lot.
It's a big number.
It is, yes.
So chitukwatako fena okutandika having these conversations. And that's why we have come up with I'm working with Omuntu Awansi organization through Andrew Chamagero.
Yes.
And Lottery International. I'm trying to lobby the organizations I work for in Australia, like Mental Health First Aid Australia, Living Works, which has a courses zimwe abana zibasoma wano, but bobuza abana ba university wano babuza basoma psychiatry and psychology babuza nti have you topic mujikuteko bagamba we have to jikuteko mildly.
Yes.
Mu April nali wane waka, and I got a chance to meet Dr. Naku of Butabika Hospital.
Yes.
I met the Dr. Patrick Ochen of the UPDF, the police, but I also met some of abantu abamu ku bakulembeze baffe, and the same conversation zejaze tulimu ku havinga ogezako okulabanga tubalaga nti suicide is preventable. It's just kuwa abantu skills how to have a conversation.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, suicide is preventable. And apparently, according to the World Health Organization, the World Suicide Prevention Day was allocated, imagine. And these are some of the things that are not kept so much in our faces, yet they are really taking center stage. They're simmering underneath. So, what causes suicide?
So, first of all...
Or maybe, let's begin, what is suicide?
What is suicide?
Yes.
So, suicide is more an intent of someone taking their own lives. Naye tukkiriza nti omuntu ono abatayagala kufa.
Okay.
They're just trying to stop the pain.
Wow.
Teri muntu, that's why I say bwokera kumacha bagamba nti mukulu kintu mpa ekintu kyosinga okwagala mu bulamu. Can you give it away? You can't give away something. Ati kyosinga omuntu kyasinga okwagala mu bulamu bwe obulamu. So teri muntu akujagala willingly mpa obulamu bwo. It's hard. It's hard. So and tugezako okukola nti tugezako okulaba nti we are sensitizing our people, we are letting them know, giving them hope, and that's why we're doing nti emirimu gyange wano gya kwogera ne our leaders okulaba nti we are getting our policies in line, we're getting our strategies in line, we are getting the support we need. And I'm so glad that to approaching the Ministry of Health, and they are backing us up on this, to approaching the Uganda Communications Commission, and we're in conversations with it. And also we are trying to lobby, talking to the Parliament. Because in Uganda, suicide attempt is a crime.
Yes, it is.
So, bwokitegera omuntu already struggling with their mind, the state of their mind, nomukasuka mukomera, instead of saying, let's give you the hand, let's give you a help. So we need to definitely decriminalize suicide. That's the first part. Okurabanti, we can give people help-seeking behaviors. Ntinze Stuart ngenda kera kumacha nkugambe nti munange mbadde kintu nakirowooza kugenda kuŋŋamba tukoze tutya, and that's where the skill training comes in.
Wow. Now, apparently on the 10th of September is when we celebrated the World Suicide Day.
Yes.
Okay, but now let's just dive into this. What causes suicide?
Suicide. So there's a lot of things that cause suicide.
So there could be some, I mean, from an expert.
So ibintu bingi, health concerns isooka. I recorded a documentary with Andrew Chamagero in Mbale. Twatuukayo nga omukyalo omu alina abaana, it's a very sad story nti alina abaana 8 talina ssente za malaria, and it was due to malaria. So it was a health concern.
Yes.
Wetwabuuza village health center chief etumubuuza nti what do you think you have registered this amount of suicides in your community? Yatuddamu n'atugamba it comes back to also poverty. So there's a lot of things. Bwavu, people have lost hope. Nti omuntu agwamu essuubi. Kati twagenda ku Zinga Island. Zinga Island ku nyanja. Omuvubi n'atugamba nze bwe senteza ebyennyanja bwe bimbula nvuga eryato lyange nenywamu akawalagi kange nenjolekera mu mazzi. So tugenda gamba enyanja yamukoze ki, enyanja yamututse because of the. So there's a lot of health concerns. There's a lot of health concerns. We have health concerns. We have poverty, the social demographics. You know, we're talking about climate change right now. And that's where we say we need to give mental health the attention it needs. You know, as Africans, tulimo ekireeta culture bias nja kukimaliriza.
Why do people think that one of the things that causes suicide is because people are mad? They've lost their mind.
And that's the language. So tugezaako kulaba nti we are changing the language.
Okay.
First of all, I think wetuvanga tumaze kashokano abantu abatulaba kinjagala kibaveewo nakyo, people do not commit suicide.
Okay.
People die by suicide. Teri akera kumachinaga today nze na choice yange yakufa by suicide.
People die.
People
by
die.
Suicide. People do not commit suicide.
Okay. So the change of the language. Nature one thing we are trying to do is work with Uganda Communications Commission, and I think we talked about this on the phone. Is the fact that amawulire or media plays a big role in destigmatizing mental health and suicide. Bokera kumacha n'enfulumya eggulire nga kuliko nti Ugandans are going to run mad, and by 2050 more Ugandans are going to run mad. It's not helping anyone. That means bwekera kumacha nga ndi mu taxi yange oba ndi ku boda yange n'ensoma ekintu bwekityo, which means segenda kuvayo ngambe, because mad mu Luganda kitegeeza omulalu. That means you are referring to me as muzadde waba akureferringa omwana omuto ga lekerawo eddalu lyo. So you can see the stigmatizing. We have a language that has this stigmatized mental health. You know, tugamba nti omuntu oyo abonaabona ne mental illness or mental health, rather than omuntu oyo running a mad crazy. So it's a change of language.
Ayina okusoomoozebwa
n'embeera ye
ey'obwongo oba ey'omutwe, naye tetugamba nti mulalu. Bw'ogamba nti mulalu obanga amulumbi, it's a direct attack.
100%.
Kakati neyandize agamba waayo ate ndi mulalu, yeesalira omusango n'alowooza nti maybe sisobola kubeera mu bantu baŋŋaanye, they've rejected me, kambeere nzekka.
And it is not until people decide to harm it, and tugeza kulaba nti people bavaayo in their shells to talk about their mental health. Agamba nti wano wenti wenkosebwa era bwe twekwatagana nti tuyambagane tutya katukyogereko. And I think one thing which I like about World Health Organization, they had a campaign which says tomorrow needs you. Nga tugamba abasajja, because by statistics abakyala be basinga okulowooza ku kintu kya suicide. But men attempt more.
Abakyala bakirowoozaako naye abaami bakissa nnyo mu
nkola. Naye abakyala boogera era bajja kugaa nti kangende ewa maama gundi ki.
Oba olw'okuba abasajja basirika nnyo, omanyi mu butonde era bw'otunulira n'amalwaliro gano, abasajja tebagenda nnyo mu malwaliro okusinga abakyala. Abasajja enkula yaffe tusirikira nnyo ebintu. Tuyina n'enkuza eno gye bazze nga batukuza nti bw'oyogerayogera ennyo ku kintu oba munafu, musajja akaaba, musajja aba bw'ati, man up, come on,
man up.
Kumbe ekintu kikutta.
And that's why tugira nnyo nti we use a platform like Man Cave Uganda to sensitizing nnyo gamba nti before you are a man, before I am a man, I'm a person like anybody else. Nga tunabeera musajja. Nga tunabeera musajja nti ndi musajja nti ndi ndakusajja laata. Oli mulamu ng'omuntu omulala yenna.
kitegeeza ebikaabi abalala bisobola okukaabya, ebinyiga abalala bisobola okunyiga, ebiraliikiriza abakazi nayo bisobola okweraliikiriza,
kisobokera ddala. So kyekimu nti tulina okuba nga tusensitizinga abantu baffe okwogera naye nekira kikikusho oyogereddewa. So wegamba nti drugs and alcohol and abuse of drugs and alcohol, nti nabuuza omu mukwano gwange nemubuuza nti lwaki bantu banywa nnyo buli Monday to Monday. Nangamba they are trying to banywa nnyo because covering down their emotions. Nti omuntu asalawo naga nti kangende nywe nkere ku makya kintu ekyo nga nkirabidde. It's crucial nti abantu boogere ekintu ebibaluma. Tufiirwa abantu bangi.
The World Health Organization, something they wrote about suicide. They say that suicide is a major public health problem with far-reaching social, emotional, and economic consequences. So it's essential that there are currently more than 800, like you say, people who die to suicide. And the theme, September, because it's been the same theme from 2020 to 2023, and he's saying that creating hope through action, creating hope through action. Now, and they say that the theme serves as a powerful call to action and reminder that there is an alternative to suicide, and that through our actions we can encourage hope, strengthen prevention. So how do we strengthen prevention, or how do we prevent suicide?
How do we prevent suicide? The first thing is literally knowing that it's here. And I'm going to use the model that were used by Zero Australia, model that we have been using. Number one is leading, instilling the belief that suicide is preventable within our people. Abantu bafuna amanya nti suicide zisobola okuyimirizibwa. That means people are going to take initiative and action. The second, engaging. We need to use all platforms. Ekintu kino, I think I was talking to someone, nemukimugezaako ekintu nakulira Kampala wano. When I was growing up, HIV, masomero, ngabogera ABC, everything was all about HIV prevention.
Yes, I remember.
It was everywhere.
The first of all, it was abstinence, be faithful, and Christ.
100%.
Then together, abstaining, be faithful, and condom, use a condom.
100%.
Yes, I remember.
It was everywhere. You know, twasomanga mawulire nga buliko, I think it was Straight Talk.
Straight Talk.
Straight Talk.
Yes.
It's very crucial. And this is the thing we need to do. We need to use all platforms, all forums, nga twakola ku HIV, to literally highlight the essence of mental health and suicide.
You know, when you talk about that, someone may raise another point.
Yes.
That one of our problems we're grappling with is funding. How are we going to fund? Where are we going to get the funders? Now, that's 100%. One of the other challenges.
So, and this is also a call out, and I think I'm on Bethany TV, which is a health TV, calling out to our government to increase the funding for mental health. I think right now we're only 1.0%, if I'm to be precise, on mental health.
That's
not a lot. I can give you the budget for mental health in Australia, $150 million.
Oh, that's too huge. Wow.
Currently, Living Works Organization is working...
About billions over it. Oh, wow.
Currently, Living Works Organization, we are working on a budget just for one New South Wales department. We were given up to, I believe, was it $10 to $40 million for suicide prevention only. So, suicide is preventable, but we need to our government needs to come on board. We have organizations like mental health first aid. Ngabo osobola okujanjaba ekiwundu nti they teach you first aid. Naga muliro bwegujja, get the fire extinguisher, blow it out. Nti wano bakusala we bati, this is the first aid you can give the wound. Tuli ku bintu bya bongo. Mukulu kintu alina okumanya nti bwe mbanga nze Stuart mu approach nze, how are you going to connect to me to have a conversation? Etagenda kuba nti it's a blame game, but you're going to highlight, you're going to come on the same level with me.
How do you prevent Suicide in Australia.
In Australia. So we use models.
Okay.
Proven models by the World Health Organization, by the United Nations.
What do you mean by proven models?
Proven models, we have what they call a model called self-talk, which is called suicide alertness for everyone. We teach this for the ages of between 15 and above. And the models literally tells you to seek help. It teaches you invitations. Into omuntu agenda kukola invitations. We believe that someone who is going to die by suicide has already communicated.
Okay.
Abalaze signs.
Bayina ebintu byayogera nabiyogeza mu bantu birakuba tetutusaayo mwoyo.
Tetusaayo mwoyo. Agamba nja kugenda eno nja kukimaliriza. Naye tetubitwalanga ki? Because oba tumanyi. That's why we have a saying, we either miss, dismiss or avoid.
Come again?
We either miss tumisinga invitations ezo nti omuntu nti nkugaye namukulu kintu encha neto kifaako njacheke you have missed the invitation. I've avoided
wabayina abaana bange bano inabaleka ntya kati oli natakifaako ebintu byange
ekiratu nti we avoid gundi nanjagadde okwogerako na man ndi busy naye wakitogerako ne gundi obulamu bwange buli busy kale nsonyiwa kale nja kudda agezako emirundi 3 oba emirundi 5 I'm a bother to you kale kankireke
agezaako bambi okubaako alinga ng'agamba nina ekintu kintawaanya naye kakati noono bambi gwagamba n'atasoma n'ata reading between the line kubanga ebiseera ebisinga abantu bano everyone wants to be listened to
100%
nga yeetaga mugamba kimbuulira
dismissing dismissing is when nti nja kukubira mukulu kintu esimugaye mukulu kintu nina ekintu eki ndi muka stress mukatono angambe naawe ebintu bya bulijjo changu tujja kujja tusamba akapiira ujja kuba bulungi watu tujja gendako stress obujja kuggwawo nywa ku mazzi genda omira ku panado you have dismissed someone tomuwadde platform okumuwuliriza nti ddala kiki ekikuletedde okulowooza bwotyo
kati kiri kyogambye nti abakyala bo bwafuna ensonga eyo anoonya gwagamba n'ayiwa n'ayogera kino kati ate omusajja aba bw'ati n'asirika kati gattako bayinza okuba tebamusasula ku mulimu omusaala guluddeyo mbadde ndaba ripooti abasomesa abasekendari abasomesa bamaze emyezi 3 tebannabasasula tugenda mu Christmas ayina family anabirowooza nagawa bagenda kubaawo batya kakati ng'ate alaba boosi ye atambula bulungi yeeyagala mukama we buli kimu kirungi naye omusajja bwagezaako kubanga akola ekyo kyogambye boosi tannakiraba tannakitegeera oba alina kyaŋŋamba oba alina kyayagala okwogera
tukirabye ku Twitter wano omusajja omusirikale eyagira n'agamba banaye mumpe sente zange you know it has come to that level you know people are stressed but suicide is not a choice you know it is preventable nti ngaffe organizations like Bethany TV oku training people government organizations you know NGOs zina okuwa people skills we do train United Nations we do train Red Cross in Australia these organizations nti tuba training nti omuntu abeera ku mulimu awo nga you know noga negundi lwaki omisinze ajja naga ku Monday naga sigenda kujancha n'otebuza lwaki agenda kujanja omuntu yabadde wano ninamu ka stress akatonotono sigenda kujanja take the initiative
kiki ekigenda mu maaso lwaki ayogedde bw'ati lwaki omuntu gwe tubadde twogera nga twogera tuteesa kino all of a sudden ambagirawo yeekyusiza n'agamba
kituufu
kati ate kyendabye nti tetupaying attention tetussaayo mwoyo bintu bingi nnyo ebituyitako nnyo nga tetwandibifunye ndoza ne bano abantu betulabako abatta abantu abalumya abantu wabeerako ekintu kyeyayogedde naye mutasaayo mwoyo kati kikulu nnyo abazadde kuba abazadde kati abaana bali mu holidays gwe tonkuwulira omwana kuba tulabe n'abaana ennaku zino beekola ebintu gwekulaba omwana yisse omwana yatemye nnyina omwana nokamba kiki kigenda mu maaso
no it's essential ate olaba kati abaana wawa kintu kye bayita water effect Water effect is nti
awo nyini water effect mbadde nsaba tummulemu tutandikira awo ndine mwami Kasule Stewart Raymond Kasule. He's a suicide prevention trainer sinzira mu ggwanga erya Australia naye nga ali mu kutubuulira nti okutta oba okwetta bisobola okuziyizibwa ne bikomezebwa ne bigwerawo mbagirawo. Ne katukomewo twogere bisinga.
Bethany TV for Health. Introducing Bethany TV, the pioneer health and wellness channel in Uganda and Africa, having a profound commitment to health and wellness. Our content takes various forms, from music and series to documentaries, talk shows, news, features, movies, cartoons, and reality shows. We are a hybrid station available on free-to-air and pay platforms, embracing the digital age as we maintain a strong online presence through our website, social media platforms, and mobile apps. Explore our rich and diverse content, engage with us on social media, and be a part of the positive change we aim to bring to the health and wellness landscape. Bethany TV for Health. Ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled to introduce Bethany Santa Omugabi, who will be sharing wonderful goodies with you this Christmas season. Getting a chance to meet Bethany Santa Omugabi is easy. Just tune into Bethany TV and get to know our various programs and talented presenters. Bethany Santa Omugabi will make surprise appearances during our live programs and offer Christmas hampers filled with an assortment of goodies, including healthy food items. When you spot Bethany Santa Omugabi during any of our programs, be the first to call in and say, "Hello, Bethany Santa Omugabi. I am your Christmas date." He will then ask you a simple question about our programs and presenters. If you answer correctly, you instantly win a mega Christmas hamper. But that's not all. You can also respond on social media. The first 20 people to respond to each question on social media will be entered into a draw. And lucky winners will be picked and announced during Bethany Santa Live on Saturdays. Bethany Santa Omugabi, only on Bethany TV for Health. Wake up to a healthy start every morning, burning those calories. Every Friday and Saturday morning, 5:30 a.m. with RCMA. It's the Body Hit here on Bethany TV for Health.
Even in rain time, it is not an excuse.
So my fondest Christmas memory was always showcasing the dress. At our home, we have a culture that every Christmas we always went Christmas shopping. So it is something that we looked for.
Bethany TV for Health.
Good morning once again. Thanks for joining us. Chintu Mutesasira Seniors, my name, and we tackling mental health and suicide, but we're measuring on suicide. And today we are with a suicide prevention trainer, that's Mr. stalwart Raymond Kasule is coming from Australia, and we're tackling this creeping and simmering effect which has had really and posed a great threat on our economy and our population and many people. Today, it used to be a thing of the eldest because of a lot of stress and whatever they're going through, but now it's descending to children. Good news is that it can be preventable. Now, the World Health Organization, a couple of years ago in 2003, it came up with what they called the World Suicide Day. Now, this was to create more awareness and to bring it in the light that suicide would really be prevented, and it is preventable and to come to a standstill. We're talking about something like over 800,000 persons who die to suicide annually. That's a big, big threat. Now, of course, like we said, the World Suicide Prevention Day was established in 2003 by the International Association for Suicide Prevention in conjunction with the World Health Organization up to now. Now, this very year, on 10th September is when it is celebrated. It was celebrated with a theme, creating hope through action. And we've talked about what triggers and all those things. But today, now in this segment, we want to really bring out the water effect or the copycat. What really, how does it happen? But Mwami Kasule is going to really dig deep and really expound for us. Oyogede water effect.
Yes.
What is it and how does it happen?
Water effect is more of a phenomenon ti omuntu chomulaga, and that's why we are working with Uganda Communications Commission. Nti amawulire bwe gafulumya ekifaananyi nga tegafiseeko naga nti agundi yafudde bwati yakozeseza means zino yafiiridde wano. You don't know the effect you have done, because nti bwembanga Stuart yali agezezaako nenekubamu omuntu nga noveeri ngamba nti gundi yakoze bwati naagira bwati, you're influencing. Obeera nga akisizeeko akazigo.
You're teaching.
100%.
Waliwo ekifaananyi ky'omuvubuka eyalinnya ku Mabirizi neyawanukayo n'agwa ne bakiraga nnyo bu video ne busasanya ku social media. Kakati gwolowooza osaasanya busaasanya video naye oyina ky'oli mu kusiga ensigo, you're planting seeds in people's minds. Okay, kitegeeza nange nsobola okuvaayo kati oli kasaafunamu akatono konna ng'atandika okubuildinga images.
Bw'obanga yali akirowoozezaako n'omulaga such kind of images, kiki kyetugambye nti media plays a big role. Twitter, Instagram, anywhere, Facebook. Era jasonga tusasanya nnyo abantu baffe tuveemu omanyi obulamu buno abantu bali mu kiri ekintu nti si kyafaayo. Obulamu bwe bwoba agiraagire, but onayinza okuba nga muganda wo, onayinza okuba nga mukwano gwo, muzaddewo relative. So goyinza okuba nga
mutabaniwo,
essaawa zino kiyinza okuba nga
kiri wala, olaba kiri na wala.
Kiki kyetwogeddeko, Lithuania had the highest suicide rates in Europe. Paka minister taatawe bwe yejja mu budde, minister naga enough is enough.
We have to do something.
We have to do something. Right now, we'll go get deep into the health department. I talked to Paul Siakulira, models in the Ministry of Health of Lithuania. Models zino bazikyusa mu lulimi lwabwe. Kitwagala okukola e Kampala wano.
The safe talks.
Safe talk. Early intervention is key. Masomero, universities. Because why abana ba university one?
Yeah, that's it. The report is there.
Banji. Abasirikale bafa abatukuuma. Abamagye bafa abatukuuma.
Families. Ogenda okulaba taata yeetuze, maama yeetuze, omwana yeetuze. So this water effect, ogambye nti e Bulaaya bwe balaga ekifaananyi oba ekintu ekyabaddewo, there is something done.
Yes.
Kuba nzijukira wano twalaganga ebifaananyi, gundi yeesaze ne bakulaga ekifaananyi ky'omuntu nga bwe kifaanana kyenyini. And my goodness, it is just creating a lot of harm, ignorantly, by the people who are showing these things.
100%. And that's why we are working with Uganda Communications Commission, because we want policies and legislations. Because in Australia, buntu bwandagana nga nti tugenda kwogera ku kintu ky'okufa nti someone has died. At the end of the session or at the end of that session bagenda kugamba if you have been triggered by these events, please call this number, talk to someone, please reach out. Because yes, omunamawulire aba alina okukola omulimu gwe n'alaga ekigenda mu ggwanga.
Naye wabawo abudaabuda singa ekintu kino kikoze bubi kikuyisiza bubi nkiraba no kiraba ku bifaananyi byabwe bassaako sensitive
100%
ne bakibikka gw'okibikkula naye bakugamba nti ebifaananyi bino byetugenda okulaga biyinza okukukosa bw'oba oli wa mutima mutono tolaba.
Aye naye kirala nti ondaze akabenje but tomanyi oba muzadde wange yafiira mu kabenje oba jjajja wange yafiira mu. So you don't know the trigger gy'ompadde.
Trauma.
Yes.
Obukosefu bw'otadde ku bwongo
bwange. I'm probably trying to heal. Naye tompadde ongambye after bumaze okundagamba oli nti weebale kulaba. Onebaza ki okulaba? Yes, nebaza okulaba ndabye amawulire gannyumira.
Kumbe olina ky'osiikudde munda mu nze.
Olina ky'osiikudde.
Era nakiraba nga kigambibwa nali nsoma ku firimu zino ez'amasasi ez'okutta na biki nga kigambibwa nti firimu ezo ensi gye zisinga okubeeramu waliyo violence y'amaanyi era balaga nti mu America violence yayo ng'eriyo nnene okusinga e Canada olwa firimu zino ze balaga olumu ebifaananyi ebyo ebiragibwa era nga bali mu kutakula mitwe bagaa tugenda kukola tutya ekintu kino we are making money kino kinyuma naye ate kina bikikosa kati era ogenda okulaba it triggered gun violence neyeyongera kubanga bakiportrayinga ne bakiraga omuntu ayingira n'akwata emmundu n'akuba so ebifaananyi bino bikulu nnyo betuteekako
100%. So that's why tugenda kukolagana n'ekitongole kye bayita Every Mind. So Every Mind Australia is a model yaba media professionals. It takes you through all the training at the media on how to portray mental health and suicide when it comes to suicide. Nti erina okubanga ebintu bye tuteekayo they are not stigmatizing.
Exactly. Ndabye ebifaananyi ku TV ng'oli yeetuze nga bamulaga alengejja nti you're like are you showing this TV eriko abaana balaba bano biki kakati biki by'oteeka mu bwongo bw'abantu
kiri kye wagambye water effect olaze ekifaananyi ekyo but TV ekifaananyi kitambula bantu bameka abalabye baana bameka abalabye muntu kya struggling n'obwongo bwe gw'olaze ekifaananyi ekyo. So it's very crucial nti mu bannamawulire mu nkola zaabwe ez'okubanga batuwa okumanya ki ekitambula mu ggwanga biki ebiri mutambula ebituliraanye community zaffe.
Okay. Wakonyeeko ku ngeri gye mu preventingamu okwetuga n'okutta ewammwe mu Australia ewammwe newammwe kati wakoyina wanyundi ebimu waba watuwaddeko kimu ekirala ezimu ku nkola
so endala kitukiza so we are tosobola ku separate. I was talking to Dr. Emmanuel Taiwo. Taiwo is the advisor of Lifeline International, ekolagana ne crisis intervention.
Okay.
We cannot separate mental health and suicide. They can't go correctly together. And that is ASSIST, which is called the Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training.
Okay, how does that work?
How does that work? That is hearing my story. But it's deep. It's a 2-day training. In Tibakusomesa, situation, how do you help someone? I'll give you briefly. You hear someone's story. You give me the room to hear my story. You're not interrupting. You're hearing me speak. That means you are connecting with me. Then, makati wantu inajibaita understanding choices. Tukiriza nti buli muntu yenna alowooza ku suicide ideation ayina kye bayita turning point in their life. Era oli ajja kugamba nti obulamu bwange naye abaana bange. Turning point ye mu bulamu bwe baana be. Nti kino Yesu akirowoozezaako naye abaana be ye turning point mu bulamu bwe. So you need to build on that. The next part is making a safety plan.
Okay.
Gye bayita safety plan. The safety plan needs to be for the person, with the person. Omuntu nakuba nga safety plan ino yagyekoledde ng'ogikoze naye nga evudde mu ye nti njagala okukuyamba okukutaasa okiŋŋambye ekintu kyo nti olowoozezza ku kintu ky'okuva mu bulamu bw'ensi buno. Let's make a safety plan. Nti muntu ki agenda gw'osobola okukubira in case okirowoozezaako mangu, nti muntu ki gwe weesiga, namba ki gy'osobola okukola ki okukuba amangu.
Ani gwenyinza okwogera naye ajja kugaa nti naye sigwa alina omuwa omuntu ono yalina okumwesalirawo, because at the end of the day, even though my role is to help you make a safety plan, my role is to help you build, to know that your life deserves another chance. Tomorrow needs you. Naye wennyini nyini omuntu olina okuba nga osobola okweyamba. Kakati wano ndaba we are advocating for professionalism. Because si ffenna ntisobola okwogera n'abantu.
Kituufu.
Waffe gwe oyinza otandika mu kusalira omusango, oyinza otandika mu mugamba naawe embeera ogiraba gwe masigo asoose biki naye ng'ate kiri towuliriza story yange. Kubanga ebiseera bisinga abantu bajja nga baagala amagezi ate ffe twagala okwogera. Kakati ono tomuganye kumba ayina ebintu bijjudde mu mutima bingi. So to assist oyina omuleka na pouring out. N'osirika bw'oti.
Connecting. You are connecting.
N'omulaga nti kyayogera kituufu and he's right. He has a point.
Onomuwuliriza. Listening. Reflective communication. I hear you. Ebigambo bitono. I hear you. Nkuwulira. Obulimu bwo nyinza okuba nga sibumanyi naye kiraga ntegeera ky'oyitamu.
Era abantu balekeraawo n'okugamba abantu nti nkitegeera ky'oyitamu kuba oyinza okuba tokitegeera.
Nkuwulira. I hear you. Just nkuwulira. Naye tuyambaganye tutya. Omanyi kintu nti it's a skill gye tulina okuwa abantu baffe.
So now these are mature people, Mwami Kasule. How do we handle this in children?
How do we handle in children? Training. Ekintu kyetukozesa kyo nnyo mu Australia bakiyita peer to peer. Ti omwana omuto ayinza okugamba nze sigenda kwogera na Stuart, sigenda kwogera na mukulu kintu ebintu nasimanyi kyagenda kundowooza. But if you give a child a skill, abaana bano tubuuza nti sometimes baana bato naye abaana b'ennaku zino bakuze at a very high speed, abaana bakula very high speed. Omwana akugamba ekintu, my boy agenda nnyo okugamba, ne mubuuza what does that do? Nanga, dad, you save people's lives. Ne mubuuza how? Nanga, you talk to them. My boy is 5.
Wow.
Naye alaba nti amanyi nti era ajja nambuuza, daddy, are you going today? Where are you going to speak? Mga nti ngenda kwogera wano. So kyenkulaga nti skilling okubaana ku bantu abaana bano peer bwe nabeeranga mu ssomero nga bwe nabeera n'ekizibu nga manyi nakoze omusango ng'enjagala ngambeko omukwano gwange nga ntimanyi abagenda kunkuba kiboka ewaka kino kye nakoze. Kati balamu nti abaana batudde mu discussion group and they're discussing mental health. And they're discussing because mutwaberanga mu ssomero nga tulinayo Rotary groups nga discussing ebintu bingi, music and entertainment and all the things. Kiki tugambe early intervention in schools. This needs to be talked about.
Wow. You talked about START in Living Works. You talked about self-talk. You've talked about assist.
Yes.
Faith.
So faith is a school for cultural and religious leaders. Omusingi gwa African culture over African demographics guli embedded within culture and religion. I think 80% of Ugandans are Christian. They belong to a religion, either Muslims or yeah. So our leaders, our religious leaders need to be pivot points of these conversations. How? Ndio tugenda ku church okusaba ne batuwa okutuwoya emyoyo. And that's why we are working with Reverend Nathan Okulabanti. He spreads this further mobile religious leaders ogezaako kulaba nti our religious leaders come on table nti bajja kugamba okwetta, yes Bible egamba okwetta kubi naye omuntu tomuwadde how.
Yes.
How am I going to help myself? Kiki tugamba creating hope through action.
Creating hope through action. Oh, yeah. Kakati nchirabira ddala mu theme y'abasajja bano, World Health Organization. Okay. Have you contemplated talking to, involving the Interreligious Council? Because
yes,
that council takes all religious.
Yes, and that's where we are, getting through Reverend Nathan Oklawanti. We can organize meetings with the International Religious Council or the Religious Council themselves in Uganda. And also, that's again, we are getting to our policy makers, the parliaments themselves.
You've engaged with the parliament?
Yes, we are having conversations with the parliament. We are seeking out a couple more meetings. The Uganda Communications and Ministry of Health. And like I would say, I would like to appreciate the Ministry of Health because we have got a lot of support from there.
And culture leaders?
Yes, so culture leaders.
Because you have kingdom leaders, you have the Kabaka, have Omukama.
Yes. So omuntu tukale twakogerako right now ye owekitiibwa Katikkiro
Charles
Peter Mayiga nti ensonga yaffe twagitwalayo ow'omukulu netumugamba nti kyekino ekintu n'atukwasa ekitongole ky'ekyobulamu mu Buganda. So we will still escalate this to other regions because conversation inakuwa worldwide.
Wow. So on the faith part, religious leaders, that's when they come in. Mosques?
Yes. Mukukuya manyi bogenda mu church nti abantu abasinga conversations tuza omuntu aluzinze hope adukira nnyo mu kanisa
aduka nnyo mu kanisa adukidde mu muzikiti imamu we
kangene njogereko ne imamu wange which is very crucial naye kati ne imamu oba
pastor or father reverend
omuntu amugambe nti ogenda kwetta kale nkusabidde.
What else?
But what else? Ngenda kuddayo ewange mu bulumu yange
kabe kasinge maybe ne religious leaders tainaako maybe psychology
100%
background or
psychology background
to handle this person.
Handle this.
Okay.
And this is where the training comes into skills is nozigenda kumuyamba. How do I have a conversation? How do I omuntu ono yes muwadde okumwoyo omwoyo naye ate muwadde n'ekintu ekirala nti muyambye creating a safety plan ey'okubanga asigala mu bulamu bw'ensi eno.
Ekintu kyo suicide kintu kinene nnyo kubanze bwe ndabye cases zibaddewo ez'abamagye n'akuba banne naye ne yetta.
Kituufu.
N'akuba mukama we naye ne yetta.
Kituufu.
N'akuba mukyala we naye ne yetta.
Kiri kye nkugambye bwe nasinkana Dr. Patrick Ochen, and I would like to thank Dr. Patrick Ochen ow'amagye psychiatric department UPDF ne police. He welcomed the conversation. Nagamba, the army needs it. They go through a lot of PTSD.
Yeah.
A lot. So, giving them the skills, giving them the training, me I definitely believe. Because tukirabyeko, the trainings tuleeta si nti tewazigezesangako. Living Works has been in existence for over 40 years. Is used in America by the Army, is used by Australian Army, is used by the Royal British Army, is used by us, even professionals. In Australia, it's a mandate. You have to go through mental health first aid training. Wow. You have to go through suicide. It's a mandate. You have to. Because if I work with young children, my role is suicide prevention training, but I'm a behavior support practitioner. I work with youth and families. Njagena sinkane mama bamututeka abana, which is child protection. Mama agambe nze nja kwetta. I'm not going to ignore that. Because takyogedde bwogezi.
Ebigambo ebijjanga ebyolusaago. Okay.
That means I need to engage further. So that's why it's crucial that I have the training, I have the skills.
Omuntu yenna adiringa n'abantu ng'akola mu kifo ky'abantu. They must have this.
You must have the training. Bwe tubanga tuli gena ku stop reduce that number.
Wow. And in Africa, this is not there.
It's not there.
Yet we carry the leading,
I think
suicidal
we're
rates.
thought of being number one. That's why when I clicked in and I posted about self-talk, Dr. Stanley, or South Africa Nelson Mandela Children Fund reached out and organized a meeting with him. For him, it is a lived experience thing. Yangamba nafira mutabani we. But when I saw that there is training, it was just a question of where is it in Africa?
Wow. Mr. Kasule.
Come on.
This is the camera. What will be your parting shot to the parent watching?
Yes.
To the young person watching? To that man who's watching? The world is falling apart.
Yes.
And the only thing they are thinking about is suicide.
Yeah.
And also that leader who doesn't know what to do. He has had maybe omuntu achogerako.
Yes.
Your last word in just 40 seconds.
In 40 seconds, I guess I'd say thank you so much for having me. But buli muntu alaba, our leaders, cultural, religious, political, banange, let's have these conversations with our people. Mental health, better mental health is a human right. It's not a privilege at all. Nti omuntu yena struggling n'obulamu bwe, suicide is preventable. But tuyina okuyiga okwogera ku kye tuwulira. Tulekeraawo okukitwala ng'ekyomusaago. Tufiirwa abantu emitwalo 8 omwaka. Omuntu bano abantu abafa, mikwano gyaffe, baganda baffe, ba relatives baffe. Suicide is preventable. Encha lukwetaaga mu luzungu bagamba tomorrow needs you for whatever reason it is. Baana bo kusoma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Stuart Raymond Kasule is a suicide prevention trainer, and he works with Australia, and that's where he comes from, and that's why he does it. Most of his work is here to help us to fight and prevent suicide. And I hope we can. Chintu Mutesa Senior is my name. Thanks for joining us. Until tomorrow, same time, same place. Good morning.